Alright, what do you have to say? Mitsunatsume's arrest. Why did you arrest him, by the way? Wait, we know this to be the lodgings of a Japanese foreign student by the name of Sosuke Natsume. It seems that you assisted in his arrest, Mr. Sholmes, with the stabbing of a young woman outside of here on Briar Road. Natsume. Yes, I believe it was a name rather along those lines. But Mr. Natsume denies it. Was it really justifiable to arrest him on so little? He's like, I'm sorry, Mr. Sato, but I have not the slightest idea what you mean. What do you mean? What? I can't believe he was looking Sato-san squarely in the eye while feigning ignorance. I assure you, I am not really feigning ignorance. I can also read your mind. It would appear as if the pair of you are under some misapprehension. Oh, how? I assure you, I have no recollection of accusing your stooped compatriot of the crime. But that doesn't make sense! You arrested him! The good detective of the Scotland Yard made the following request of me, and I quote verbatim. We need you to ascertain the identity of the whereabouts of a man seen fleeing the crime scene. A man seen fleeing. There were a number of books scattered on the pavement at the scene. From the book plates, I was quickly able to determine the bookshop from which they had been purchased. Are you sure you could just see the name? It had it on the receipt. On speaking with the proprietor, I was immediately led to this address. Elementary, wouldn't you say? I believe there is a receipt around here somewhere from the establishment in question. So you don't think Mr. Natsume is the culprit then? That I could not tell you. But it was aggravating my faculties. Hence why I returned here. However, this place is such a trove of fascinating books, I found myself quite lost in bibliophily. Whatever that word is. Do not be deceived into believing that I am a man of leisure. No. Oh dear. Then he's not guilty. You just did what they were told. Tell me. Have you encountered the landlord of these lodgings? Yes, Mr. Garadeb. He a retired military man. Yeah, it seems retired enough. He doesn't want to stand up, I guess. It was the first time I've ever met a soldier from the Great British Institution, that is, the services. Doesn't seem like he's like grateful or happy that he's part of the military. And it was the first time I've ever met a maid from the Great British Institution, that is, service. She found that funny, I guess. I get the joke! I didn't think that was funny. It was that funny. I do apologize. As you may well be aware, many households in London employ a maid. Yes, I read as much as in my Great Britain primer. And so, conversely, whether or not the household employs a maid has to come to betoken the social standing of those dwelling therein. Betoken their social standing, sorry? What do you mean by that? Put simply, my dear fellow, they're rich. Those who employ at least a single maid are considered middle class. Those who do not are beneath that. In the upper echelons of society, of course, households employed enough staff to constitute a large family. Goodness, how extraordinary! So technically I'm below class because I don't have a maid? I mean, my mom is a maid, or was. So, nah, we're still low class, I guess. Oh, low class, as they say. As you can appreciate, for those on the precarious boundary between a middle and lower classes, being able to afford just one maid is of the first importance. So, why don't you have one? If you kind of seem smart and it kind of seems like you have the money to afford one. I had no idea. And it is for precisely that reason that I find great stimulation in the situation upstairs. So, does that mean the maid is also a middle class, or it's still considered low class then? Specifically, in the retired army veteran, Mr. John Garrideb. Oh. Affable as he is, the fellow is hiding something. Whether or not it impresses on the circumstances of this case, I am yet unable to ascertain. I'm thoroughly lost on what he means to say. Me too, because I think you're mostly lost, Ryunosuke, because I don't know how to say words at times. The dingy room. This room is thoroughly suffocating for the soul, my dear fellow. I assure you, any man whose lot is dwelled in a place such as this will stab somebody sooner or later. I mean, it's a chosen lifestyle, because I believe Mr. Natsume did that on purpose, like covered the whole room full of books. I don't know idea. He could be so rich if he sold those books. Sold those books. I mean, I can't say words apparently. Mr. Natsume has stabbed no one. But sooner or later, as I said. I don't believe that's the issue here. About this dark little room, Mr. Sholmes. Why is there no longer a window? Do you have any idea? Probably the window taxes back then. No window. Well, I mean, I can clearly see that there is a window of sorts. But it's all bricked up, so. But it's been completely blocked with bricks. I believe this is the taxes back then. I see. The answer to that question is quite simple. Window tax. Yep, exactly. Window tax? What is that? Surely not a tax on windows. Precisely that! Oh my goodness! Until relatively recently, a tax was levied on households in this country by the number of their windows. Is that true? I gotta look that up later. Those of lesser means, having inherited a sizable and costly family home, perhaps rapidly close windows up. While the rich open windows here, there, and everywhere. In an effort to curry favor with those in power by furnishing them with large sums of tax money. I see. So look at that! They do charge tax to the rich, unlike the other people. People in this country, I swear. How awful and unjust, forcing people to live in rooms devoid of light. Well, yeah. Indeed, disease was rife as a result. Some 40 years ago, or thereabouts, the window tax was abolished. Oh, so why do they still have the windows blocked up then? But its legacy remains, as you can see. The squalid lodgings, such as these, for example. I suppose Mr. Natsume's stipend for living here in London isn't very generous, perhaps. Well, that's not his money to... He's not supposed to do that. If anything, it's the landlords that need to fix that, honestly. It would appear so. I've done a little digging and discovered that these lodgings were offered at an extraordinary low price. Because the room is awful, I should think. Apparently, Mr. Natsume only moved in here about 1 week ago. Yes, that's correct. However, I don't believe the low rent is explained by the shabby nature of the combination. He moved in here 1 week and he got so many books like these? Holy shit! Oh? Still, the little relevance here. There's a little relevance here. A matter not worthy of further attention. Are you sure? I'm curious now. I guess that's everything we need to hear from him. Well, I believe I've told you all I can now. Thank you, Mr. Sholmes. Ah, yes, Mr. Nohura. Was it not your intention to become a practitioner of law? You remember that, did you? But can't remember my name? What bullshit is this? Will you perhaps be offering your services in this very matter, I wonder? To the occupant of this room, Mr. Natsume, was it? And now you remember his name, but not mine. I'm not sure. Not sure? On what grounds? Well, I actually defended someone in court here only yesterday. Really? Well then, I congratulate you, sir, on the ambition realized. And so proudly, too. The thing is, it's really made me question things. Am I right to believe in my clients? To trust in their innocence? Yes. Trust. Mr. Sholmes? Mr. Natsumi didn't do it, did he? Ah! My dear fellow! I haven't the first idea! But I thought that's why you were here. Didn't you come back to investigate? Ah, yes. That was indeed my initial intention. But there are simply too many fascinating books here. I couldn't possibly ignore them. Oh, I see. Nevertheless, there are two facts that I can state quite unequivocally. The man who fled at the scene of the crime 2 days ago was a Japanese occupant of this room, and there are witnesses who swear to have seen the same man commit the crime. That is all I can say. Ah, and one more thing. Oh? What is it, Mr. Sholmes? Tell us! At least we know that even he doubts it, regardless, like if he did do the crime. I cannot say with any certainty whether or not it is of relevance to this case, but I am quite sure that the retired army man who owns this property is hiding something. Mr. Garrett is. Mr. Sholmes said as much as before you actually, didn't he? Anyway, at present, that is really all that plays on my mind in relation to this case. Mr. Naruhodo, as yet our investigations have uncovered nothing that could help establish Mr. Natsumi's innocence. No, you're right. Perhaps it's time we probe a little deeper into Mr. Garrett's secret. What do we think he did it? Just remember, I cannot be sure whether the landlord's secret will prove to be of relevance or not. But I wish you every success, of course, Mr. Naruhodo. I'm gonna go back to reading. Oh, this is one of my favorite books. The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. It's like me, but with different name. I'm a busy man indeed. He's gone back to his book in the corner of the room. I wonder if I can still see him. Actually, that's a wrong button. Is he still reading? Yeah, he's still there. Let's talk to him. Excuse me, Mr. Sholmes. Yes, so true. To be or not to be? That is indeed the question, Mr. Naruhodo. To be or not to be brushed off? That is the question. And the answer is all too clear. Let's leave Mr. Sholmes in peace, shall we? Yeah, I guess he has to read his his William Shakespeare, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, go back to Garrett's house. I'm gonna question him right now. Did anything change? Wait, something fell, didn't it? Something's weird. Seems weird in here. Ah, you there again? Good morning. Tell me, was the detective chap, for I forget his name, still hard at work down there? Mr. Herlock Sholmes? Ah, yes, that guy. Ah, yes. Rings a vague bell. All that detective business isn't really my thing, I'm afraid. Well, Mr. Sholmes is in his element down there. Jolly good show. Another cup of tea, if you please, Joanna. Now then, why don't you tell me what... Well, tea time, woman. You will watch what your body will doing. I shall be serving dinner shortly, sir. Yes, of course. Frightfully rude of me, but I'm afraid I shall have to ask you to take your leave, if you'd be so kind. Oh yes, of course. We are deeply grateful for all your assistance. Not at all, not at all. Don't get much chance to talk with young foreigners like yourselves. It's been a pleasure. Best of luck and all that. Perhaps you could see yourself out. According to Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Garrett is hiding something. I mean, it's not our place to be questioning him. It's his house. Why should we question him? What are you hiding? Everyone has something to hide. And since no other avenues of investigation seem open to us at the moment, perhaps we should do some digging. And I'm pretty certain we can't talk to them. Yeah, we can't really talk to them. So like, oh, please leave, please. But look at this guy who's just standing outside. Ah, what's he doing over there? I thought he was reading his book called Juliet and Romeo, whatever it's called. Mr. Sholmes. I know the name. I'm just saying the parody of this game. Or Juliet and Jomeo, right like that. Aha! We meet again, my dear fellows. Good gracious, when did you sneak in here? Herlock Sholmes, sir, at your service. Whatever were you doing over by the window? I am given to watching the evening sky as the sun sets, madam. Yet sadly cheerful as the room downstairs undoubtedly is, it lacks an aperture for such observation. So I took the liberty of borrowing a small corner of space by the window up here. Wait. Keeping an eye on the windows at dusk is the prudent thing to do in London, I'm gathering. Ah, and one other thing, Mr. Naruto. Oh, me? I thought perhaps you might be in need of a certain great detective's great mind. Wait, he's not talking about... Is he? I didn't expect to be going through that again so soon, and I can't wait, he's like. Do you mean, Mr. Sholmes? There is a mighty secret in this modest room. My eyes see I can't talk. My eyes see even the most trivial trifles. I take it you're prepared, Mr. Naruto? I think so. There is just time enough for one of my greatly admired great deductions. Let us conclude the matter before dark. I can't wait. Mr. Garadab, though it would seem you are a military man, considerably distinguished service, your standing as a landlord is most certainly not what one might call first rate. I'm afraid, sir, that it is all too clear to me. There are two conclusions I have been able to draw by careful observation of your living arrangements. I beg your pardon? The first is that even as we speak, you are concealing the presence of a ferocious beast in your care. And the second, it is that, as a result of the beast's violent rampage, you have lost something very dear to you. Mr. Naruto, look! The old man's broken out in cold sweat. Unbelievable. It seems Mr. Sholmes' conclusions are both spot on. How could you possibly... How could I possibly know? You mean to inquire? The answer couldn't be simpler, sir. For in the dense jungle of logic and reasoning, I am the king of beasts. Oh! And I know only too well, the wild beasts are not easily tamed. So, shall we begin? Once again, Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his Logic and Reasoning Spectacular! I can't wait! The Great Deduction! The game's afoot! Now, topic 1, Nature of the Beast. It's been a while. It really has been, like, what, 20 episodes or 10 episodes? I don't know. It certainly shouldn't take a great detective to see that a fearsome beast has been on a rampage of late within these four walls. Thus, we are faced with the question, what form might the beast take? For a man of a military breeding, your eyes are uncommonly candid. Oi! Your putative glance, Mr. Gerdub, leads us directly to the answer. And where did he look? The lion! The true nature of the beast that has run rampant here is revealed by the lion statue. Yes, though an army man, you appear unimposing at best. A fact that has fueled your admiration for the mighty lion, the king of beasts. What is this dreadful, I ask you? In the end, your admiration became so great, in fact. Are you claiming that he has a lion in his room? That you had a living, breathing specimen shipped from India, which you tried to keep in this very house. What? I don't know what the hell. He had a hand shape on his head, on his face. I mean, yet living such a wild beast proved more difficult than you had imagined. The chilling traces of the wild rampage are still very much in evidence. Well... Yet, as we look around, the beast in question fails to present itself. Where could this angry creature have disappeared to? We already know he's already fucked up, madam. Like, he already made a lot of mistakes right now. Me? I pray you do not consider me unchivalrous, but it explained to me that with one glance in your direction. It is? Your dress pocket gives us a handsome clue as to the beast's current whereabouts. Protruding from its hand-built advertising, a circus show. Oh! Yes, you sought to dispose of this terrifying lion, Mr. Gerdub, at Batty's Circus. A traveling show currently sojourning a nearby park. I have observed the tents. You sold the savage lion, sir, to the circus troupe. I most certainly did not. I believe I have made my point. The fearsome beast, which ran amok in this room, was an Indian lion. And a simple visit to the circus now will reveal this lion prancing jubilantly through the ring of fire. Oh my god, he's a genius! It was a lion this whole time! The lion ate the cakes! I knew it! The aftermath. Now, Mr. Gerdub, it is plainly clear that you still have deep feelings for this formidable beast. Oh, memories. Oh, thank God, when I miss that bear. I miss that lion. Indeed. Indeed. In that blithe pose, the distress this loss has caused you is vertebly tangible. Your head weighs heavy on your shoulders. The pain you feel being revealed by that supporting arm. Amid fits of tears, you let your beloved beast go. The strain of losing something so dear to you is clearly visible in your visage. Nonetheless, man, I simply... Well, that, we must now ask ourselves, is the true cause of his pain. And they all look in this one direction. And we need only follow the direction of your gaze to find the answer. And I got a notification. Let me see. Oh, wait, never mind. Anyways, sorry about that. I got a notification. Yes, it is the pile of bills that was given a rise to the pain you suffer. Every envelope contains another demand for payment. Oh! Oh! Are you sure? Are you sure you ain't that book in front of it, Mr. Sholmes? For cart loads of meat, potatoes, wheat, and tea. Indeed, feeding your beloved has had a devastating impact on financial circumstances of your household. And so, you had no choice but to let it go. Yes, well, Now, in the final fit of rage, the ferocious beast carried out one last unimaginable attack. Unimaginable? What do you mean by that? The aftermath, of which you can clearly see by observing the culprit over there. A very expensive woven carpet, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, dearie me. What could have caused such a destructible cloudburst? Who knows? This time, madam, I'm afraid it is you who has inadvertently revealed the truth to me. Your wandering eye has settled upon the answer very neatly indeed. Yes, to explain the dire state of the carpet, we need only to look at the Tower of Cakes. Oh, how does she know I eat a lot of cakes? There is no creature more dangerous on this earth than a beast with an unsatiated appetite. Was it or was it not once said by the certain noble woman, if they have no bread, let them eat cake? Ooh, that's so wise. No bread, eat cake. I should learn that. Food is the heart of all the tragedy, in fact. Whatever do you mean? Having tired of the taste of cake, the beast began to stalk its next prey. I'm sure I need to spell it out. The nature of this final act of destruction carried out by the beast. There is only one logical conclusion. Worked into a frenzy by hunger, the lion attacked and ate the culprit. The teeth marks of the carpet are a perfect match with those of a lion I once saw in India. You've been in India, Mr. Sholmes? I didn't know that. Carpet gnawed by the starving lion. Yeah, rather than eat the people instead. The lion's gonna eat the fucking carpet. Thus concludes Herlock Sholmes' great deduction of this beastly puzzle. My god, he's like, oh! So sharp. What's the matter with you, Joanne? You're pouring scalding hot tea all over me. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Curative. I'm afraid I didn't notice. I was so shocked, in fact. My deductions can be startlingly sharp. It stands to reason that your cup runneth over. Indeed, my revelations can make people spill tears at times, too. Oh, I'm definitely crying. You could clearly see. Mr. Sholmes, sorry to butt in again, but could I make an observation? Why, certainly, Mr. Naruto. What is it again? Well, your deductions just now. Do you really think a lion could have fit inside of a room in this size? Indeed, it is the only explanation for the thoughts. The terrifying truth all too often lies beyond the realms of common sense. But wouldn't it be an idea to consider what lies inside the realms of common sense as well? But if an uncaged lion had run amok at the very room, surely Mr. Garrett and his mate would have been hurt or worse. Ah, that's where you are stuck. No doubt, the former military man held his own against the beast using his large cannon. I thought you said that they sold the lion to the circus. And what about the food? Meat and potatoes are one thing. But I don't believe I have ever heard of a lion that drinks tea. Ah, my dear Mrs. Sato, it occurs to me with some regularity that irrespective of race and breeding, whenever anyone lands a great British soil, they are infused with a highly appropriate taste for afternoon tea. Oh, what a glorious notion! Well then, Mr. Naruto, it's your turn to shine again. I had a feeling that was coming. A slight massage. A slight massage, that is all Mr. Sholmes' deduction needs. You can do it! Excellent! I've been waiting for my trusty partner in deduction to step forward, Mr. Naruto. We don't even know yet whether or not this is going to help with Mr. Natsumi's case. Still, uncovering the truth is always worthwhile, whatever the motivation. At least, That's what I want to believe. Let us start again. From the beginning of Herlock Sholmes, logic and reasoning spectacular. With code. Now, course correction. Hold it, Mr. Sholmes. You are kind of off right now. Alright. Nature of the beast. Let's correct this. It certainly shouldn't take a great detective to see. That a fearsome beast has been on a rampage of late within these four walls. Thus, we are faced with a question. What form might the beast take? Ah, for a man with a military breeding, your eyes are uncommonly candid. Your fugitive glance, Mr. Gerda, leads us directly to the answer. The true nature of the beast that has run rampant here is revealed by the lion statue. I really didn't see the lion thing coming. No, but if you observe Mr. Gerda's reaction, it rather seems as though some beast did indeed run amok here in this room. Yes, something with a very fierce nature. But it couldn't have been a lion transported from India. So what is it then? We must follow Mr. Gerda's gaze. That will lead us to the true answer. Alright, so it can't be the lion, so what else could it be? Could it be the cannon? The cannon! It all makes sense. These are the shells of cannon, are they? What a strange place to keep them. I imagine they have some significance to Mr. Gerda from this time in London in army. Of course, he mentioned the battle was to us before, didn't he? Do you remember? He said that he's been shot in the knee. Perhaps it was one of these that hit him. If a round that size had hit his knee, there'd be nothing left of it. Or Mr. Gerda, in fact. Mr. Sholmes has a Persian slipper. And this man has spent shells. Perhaps it's customary in Great Britain to display, well, rubbish on the mantelpiece. So it can't be the lion, so we're gonna say, ooh, what is this? Why is there a picture here? What's a photograph? What's this photograph? It appears to be of Mr. Gerda's wedding. He looks very happy, doesn't he? He does, but you can't make out his bride. Oh no, how unfortunate. Something must have struck the glass directly over the woman's face. I wonder what happened. Probably best not to delve into too deeply there. Probably by accident. So, Mr. Gerda looks so happy. Look at him. This must have been a Mr. Gerda when he was still in the army. He seems to be carrying his rather stout bride effortlessly and beaming a smile at the same time. I suppose he was very strong in his younger years. How hard to imagine now. He's as thin as a rake. And now with the newly wedded bride, the glass is broken, so you can't really see the bride's face at all. And no amount of cracks could hide the woman's plump form. Bruh! I think powerful would be a kinder than plump, Mr. Naruto. Yes, she certainly looks that. There's a lot of horsepower there. Oh my god! Is it a fat shaming I see? Now, not someone that you want to upset, that's for sure. Oh, look! Have you noticed the wedding ring? It's very large, isn't it? Yes, it's an unusual design. I love these wedding rings like this because a diamond looks cool, yes, it makes you look rich and stuff like that, but why not have it an engagement ring designed like that? It's so cool. Not only cool, it's cute and everything. So, and cheaper too. It doesn't really matter. It is like some sort of embellished sunflower. There's a lot more meaning to it too. So we're gonna. By the way, I think the beast is this guy person. Yep. The true nature of the beast that was run rampant here is revealed by the newly wedded bride. By that newly wedded bride, rather. Precisely, Mr. Naruto. No other explanation could possibly fit. Other than the lion, of course. Now, Yes, this frame print pictures your wife, Mr. Garrett. And while we lament the fact of that her face is obscured, we can still make out her mighty arms and note the considerable horsepower they must contain. Oh my god. Some fucking fat shaming her. Indeed, surely any woman of such powerful constitution would be honored to be described as a beast. I don't know about that. Honored might be stretching a point. Too late. The fact remains that the beast, which is so clearly savage this room, was your wife, Mr. Garrett. The chilling traces of the royal rampage are still very much in evidence. Well... Yet, as we look around, the beast in question fails to present itself. Where could this angry creature have disappeared to? Madam? Me? I pray you do not consider me unchivalrous, but it is plain to me with one glance of your direction. It is? Your dress pocket gave us a handsome clue as to the beast's current whereabouts. The poor, fragile, defenseless woman is beside herself. Well, I don't know about fragile. Oh, dear. Anyway, Mr. Sholmes is quite right. There's no sign of Mrs. Garrett anywhere. But it seems that there might be a clue as to her whereabouts. A clue that this maid is trying to hide. I wonder where Mr. Garrett's wife could be. Gee, I wonder. The maid herself, like, press it. Two slightly shut eyes to avoid even the chance of a giveaway glance. Pursued lips to prevent any secrets from slipping out. Round cheeks to deflect any abuse that might be hurled her way. Yes, this is an unnervingly powerful woman, Mrs. Sato. It's your turn to phrase that's unnerving, Mr. Naruto. And mean too. What the fuck are you trying to do? Anyways, teapot. What a charming little teapot! And it's in pristine condition. Joanne has been pouring the delicacy fragrant teas for Mr. Garrett, hasn't she? Well, not so much for Mr. Garrett as on Mr. Garrett, wouldn't you say? I wouldn't dream of drawing attention to it. No, not at all. I would rather have the man be suffering regardless and not mention it. She's wearing a very large ring. Look. Oh yes, a flower design with some rather nice embellishments. And it's on the ring finger of her left hand, which means it's surely a wedding ring. It looks like it's on there for life too. I can't imagine it would slide off a finger of that size. That's so fucking mean, Yunosuke. That's something to think, Mr. Naruto, not to say. Do you know Mr. Garrett's wife in the photograph had the ring very much like this one? It was a large sunflower design as well. Really? You have a great memory for these things. A large sunflower wedding ring. It's quite a coincidence that they have the same ring, isn't it? I wonder why. I wonder why. I wonder why, Ryunosuke. Your wedding ring gives us a handsome clue as to the beast's current whereabouts. Ooh! Indeed it does. The flowery band gleaming on your finger gives you away. For it's identical to the one shown in the hand of Mr. Garrett's bride in this photographic print. In other words, you are no ordinary household maid. No. You are Mr. Garrett's lucky bride. You are Mrs. Garetham herself. Oh my word! And we figured it out. Case closed. Well, jolly fine detecting, sir. As you actually summarized, this is the wife, yes, my Joanne. Rather, let herself go, you might say. She was a body. Ah! Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. It would appear that you don't live in the most comfortable of circumstances. After all, you are a retired army man, yet you are in the business of renting out rooms. I would assume, therefore, that you have insufficient means to employ a maid. Would that be correct? That's not right, I tell you. I was 2nd Lieutenant of the 3rd Regiment. A man who has his pride, don't you know? By jolly, by golly. It's a sorry thing when a chap can't even afford to have a single maid in his employ. Yes, here in London, one is rather judged. A household cannot be considered worthy of society if it employs no staff at all. Though, in my considered opinion, such concerns about appearances are a folly. You mean Mr. Garetham has his wife work as his maid? Precisely. Am I right, Mr. Garetham? Once in company, obviously. But listen here. This must remain a secret. Tip-top secret! Tip-top secret! Please! Alright, we'll keep it a secret. We won't tell anyone that you're poor, that you're low class. It's okay. Even though I kind of consider you middle class because you're a landlord, so I'm just saying. Carpet gnawed by the starving lion. Well, it can't be a lion now. Now, Mr. Garetham. It is plainly clear that you still have deep feelings for this formidable beast. Indeed. In the blind pose and the distress, this loss has caused you veritably tangible. What do you mean loss? She's still there! Your head weighs heavy on your shoulders. The pain you feel revealed by the supporting arm. Mr. Sholmes is quite something. He is calling Mr. Garetham a wife a beast. Yes, a woman that feels rather uncomfortable. As a woman, that feels rather uncomfortable. But Mrs. Garetham is still standing beside her husband as we speak. In other words, he hasn't lost his beloved at all, has he? No, he has not. He's right there. Oh, how true. So perhaps the supporting arm that seems to be propping up in his head has some other significance then. According to Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Garetham's pain is tangible, though. What could that pose of his really signify? Well, we kind of saw at one point. I look at the pipe right here. It's a rather very large pipe, isn't it? Yes, anyone who has something that size hanging out of his or her mouth on a regular basis is sure to have a serious chin like Mr. Garetham's. But what's the white binding around it all about? Who knows? We don't know yet. And the slapped cheek right here. Oh my! Look at the bright Look at that bright red mark. Gosh, that's quite something. And clearly made by somebody's hand. Yes, Mr. Garetham has been slapped on the face. It seems hard. I've never seen such a clearly defined mark. Whoever could have done such a thing? It was me. It was all me. Well, there's a very limited number of candidates, I'd say. Maybe let's do this then, because I think we know what it is. And like how he turns his head later. Your head weighs heavy on your shoulders. The pain you feel be revealed by that slapped cheek. And of course, the deliverer of the impressive mark on your cheeks that refuses to fade. Was you, Madame Joanne Garetham? She slaps herself. Well, yes. I didn't hit him that hard, though. He's just weak. You have been desperate to hide that slap mark on your cheek, sir. Oh, how did he know? Is that fine? Hold? No. Sit straight towards you. Hold the blazes. How did you work that out, man? Nothing escapes the notice of one trained in the art of observation, my dear fellow. That's why you haven't looked directly at us even once. And you're shaped like the moon, too! To keep, like a Phineas and Ferb kind of situation. To keep your to keep your other side from view. Well, Now, let us proceed to the next conundrum. Why were you subjected to such a violent slap? In other words, we must ask ourselves, what caused the Madame Gerda to fly into rage? And we need only to follow the direction of your gaze to find the answer. Yes, it is the pile of bills that was given rise to the pain you suffer. You waste so much money to the food. Oh, that's probably why. Didn't Mr. Sholmes say that the bills were all for lion fodder? Yes, but now we've established that the lion never existed. Which can only mean that the thing responsible for gobbling up all that food was Mr. Gerda's wife. Mr. Naruto! She's a person, not a thing. Yes, well, she's also a person who gave her husband a mighty slap round to the face. Do you want to slap again? Do you want to get a slap by her? Or if anything, do you want to get thrown by Susato? If you could, because if you want to, keep that up with that talk, because she's gonna eventually throw you. One so hard that it left a perfect hand mark, in fact. Yeah, why would a woman want to hit her husband with such force, I wonder? Probably having an affair, I don't know. I'd love to know the answer to that question. Let's see, not the bills then. Ooh, a book. I wonder, ooh, the dishes in the ground. What the fuck? Why are there broken dishes right here? Oh dear, the plate has been smashed to pieces. And nobody seems to inclined to tidy up the mess. Perhaps it's some sort of high art. Really, Mr. Naruto? Well, anyone who has a cannon on display in their living room is clearly a little eccentric. Yes, let's call it eccentricity. Probably not that. Hey, look, a book! But why is there a mark here? Huh, someone must be reading in the book at the moment. But there's a bookmark here, look! Mr. Gerda is clearly an avid reader. Oh, wait a minute! I don't think this is a bookmark. Oh no, so it isn't. It's a note written by a woman's hand. How do you know? It could be a guy. You don't know. Oh, never mind, it's me, Mary. Oh, James, I love you. Yours, Mary. And look, next to the signature here. Lip marks, made with lipstick. Oh, what a passionate and romantic gesture. Don't get any ideas, Sato-san. Oh dear, I'm so sorry. So this bookmark is actually a love note then. A love note? I wonder. And we're gonna present the love note. Yes! It is this love note that was given rise to the pain you suffer. Oh, James, I love you. Yours, Mary. Passionate indeed. And she's still angry, look at that! Perhaps the sender of this note, a certain Miss Mary, is the fly of the ointment here. Oh! But I don't know the Bali woman. You don't know her? That note was written to me. It was just in the book. I don't know how it got there. It was just in there, you say? That's right. It's a bit obvious. Oh! A likely story. Now listen here, Joanna. Old thing I explained at the time. I bought the book in a second-hand place, and that note must already have been in there. So, the previous owner of the book is using the note as a bookmark, you mean? That's right, and that's why I present you! A likely story! For heaven's sake, woman, look at the name. It's written to James. My name is, in case you forgot, it's John! A likely story! Are you questioning my name now? Ah! Now, there we have it. Arouse the suspicions of the female heart, and you unleash the beast with the most ferocious bite. I didn't do it. Now, in a final fit of rage, the ferocious beast carried out one last unimaginable attack. Unimaginable? There, the aftermath of which can be clearly seen by observing the carpet over there. A very expensive woolen carpet, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, dearie me. What could have caused the destructive outburst? Oh, I don't know. This time, madam, I'm afraid it is you who has inadvertently revealed the truth to me. Your wandering eye has settled upon the answer very neatly indeed. Yes, to explain the dial state of the carpet, we need only to take a look at the Tower of Cakes. But surely Mr. Garrett ate the cakes. Did he eat the cakes? Oh, no, of course not. But there doesn't seem to be any doubt that the state of disarray from this room is in its result of her wild temper. No, that's true. So this is the last part of Mr. Sholmes' deduction that we need to fix. Well, at least he's not saying that the freaking woman ate the carpet. At least, holy shit, imagine that. Like, you ate the carpet! We need only to follow Mrs. Garrideb's gaze, and that will tell us the real answer. Alright, let's see what we can see. Yes. Alrighty then. So, it can't be the cakes, the tower cakes. It can't be the circus handbill. And we can just look at it, though. This is an advertising handbill for the circus. Batty's Circus. It's in a nearby park. Isn't it the same as the one we saw earlier? The one that was folded in Mrs. Garrideb's pocket. Perhaps they're very great circus lovers. It couldn't be that the Hungry Lion is somehow involved again here, could it? Oh dear, I do not hope. I do hope not. But what about the candles? There's one missing after all. This looks like a very old candlestick, doesn't it? The base looks too small. Surely it's very unstable. It looks to me that like even the slightest knock would make it topple over. Oh dear me, that would be dangerous. Wait, take a closer look at this. There's one candle missing. Yes, I didn't notice that before. Why is that, I wonder? Why is one candle in the three missing from its holder? You can't read, apparently. Oh wait, it's right here. The carpet has been ripped into shreds. Yes, and according to Mr. Sholmes' deduction, the tear match those that made by the Indian lion's teeth exactly. Oh look, they're here! What is it? If you look closely at the edge, you can see scorch marks. Oh yes, you can see. Yes, you can. In that case, perhaps the carpet wasn't eaten by the normal sense of at all. Let's rethink of this with that in mind. Now we have that.
Take that!
There you go. It was burned instead. Yes, to explain the dire state of the carpet, we need only to look at the candlestick. Most illuminating, my dear fellow, and of course, the only possible way out of this logical labyrinth. Yes, the remnants of the ferocious attack in which the carpet was devoured are clearly visible. Indeed they are. The scorch marks at their edge clearly give the truth away. Scorch marks? Scorch marks? It would appear that this room was the scene of a little marital altercation. Oh, how did he know? Mrs. Garrett's mighty arm muscles left an impression not only on her husband's face, but on the entire room. Sheer force of her strike caused the candle to fall from the holder. She's not that strong. She probably threw some stuff at least. And in the seconds of the carpet was all light. The whole corner of the room was in flames. Yes, for the most ferocious beast in this world is neither a violent lion nor a vengeful woman, but fire. And in this room, that ferocious beast bared its claws and ran amok. Eloquently put, my dear fellow. So you see, there is but one conclusion here. After the sparks of the martial discord flew, this room was the scene of a fire. Okay, I'll give you the tea. Just don't pour me. Alright. Mr. Sholmes, sir. I salute you! How the roles have been reversed right there. Carpet scorched by a small fire. Solved. Deduction complete. Elementary! Hell yeah! We did it! We did it! We solved the truth.